You need a cup of chopped onions and a cup of chopped bell peppers. I kind of cheat. I use these frozen things. They work just fine, but I do thaw them before I brown them. 5 pounds of russet potatoes, mostly peeled. I leave a little bit of the peel on and cut the brown spots off. Cut the potatoes up into average size, I guess. You don't have to worry too much about what size or shape you cut the potatoes into. They'll end up being cooked into oblivion. So just cut them up, I don't know, pieces about that big work for me. You'll end up with a few chunks in the soup, but you won't have pieces of potato near that big. They'll cook down a good bit. Secret ingredient, bacon. Buy a 12-ounce pack of the cheapest bacon you can find. We're going to use this for flavor and to get the grease that we'll use to brown the onions and peppers. Put the whole pack of bacon into the pan over medium-low heat. It's important not to burn the bacon. You'll be reusing that grease, so you can't burn the grease. While the bacon's cooking, I'll take a pound of smoked sausage, your favorite brand, it really doesn't matter, and I'll cut it up into small pieces. Here's our sausage, chopped up into small pieces. Next, we'll brown those when the bacon is done. Browning the sausage greatly improves the flavor of the sausage in the potato soup. It's a big deal. Cook the bacon until it's very well done. But again, cook it at a low enough heat to where it doesn't burn. There's a difference between being very well done and crispy and burned. You don't want to burn this grease that you're creating by cooking the bacon. The bacon is nice and crispy. I'm going to take it, set it on top of the potatoes. No need to drain it because all of the grease produced by cooking the bacon will be used in the potato soup. What we do now is we take our 2 cups onion and pepper mixture, dump it in there and brown it. You want to brown the onions and the peppers until the onions are just about clear. Generally for about 8 minutes at the same temperature you cook the bacon. Again, being sure not to burn that bacon grease. I took the bacon and I just crumbled it up and laid it on top of the potatoes. If you happen to eat a few of the pieces of bacon along the way, that's fine, because mostly it's all about that flavor from that bacon, and you get plenty of that from the bacon grease. So when we add the potatoes to the water, the bacon will go in at that time. The bacon will cook down to almost nothing. You won't even really be able to tell it's there other than the flavor that it adds. This is the onion and pepper mixture. I took it out of the pan using my slotted spoon so that I leave as much of the bacon grease in the pan as possible. Now I'll take my pan that's still hot and put the sausage in and brown it. In goes the sausage. You're going to brown the sausage until it's nice and brown. You'll have to keep stirring it up to get each piece equally brown on all sides. Even on medium-low heat, after a while, that bacon grease starts getting a little bit dark. That's okay. While you're browning your sausage, just keep it moving so that it doesn't burn. You just want to get your sausage brown just a little bit on each side. No need to make the sausage crunchy, but browning the sausage does completely change the flavor of the sausage in your potato soup. Now, we've removed the sausage out of the grease, again using a slotted spoon so that you still have grease in the pan. Here's a 1/4 cup of flour that I'm going to put in there and brown real good. essentially making a roux. This you definitely have to keep moving. You don't want it to get clumped up. You don't want it to burn. When you're happy with the color of your roux, I like a medium color for potato soup. We don't want it too dark because it'll overpower the taste of the soup. We're going to take that pan and take it off of the heat. We've got some things we're all going to add. We're going to add everything into this same pan, but until I can get everything I need, you have to take this off of the heat. We put the pan back on the heat, and now we start adding things. Here's our bowl of onion pepper mixture. We put that in there. Get it all stirred up. Now we start adding the potatoes. We add the whole pan of potatoes and sausage and bacon. The whole thing. I don't know how many quarts this pot I'm using is, but 5 pounds of potatoes makes a full pot of potato soup. Now we've got that in there. I put in enough water. To cover to the top of the potatoes. Just enough to get to where you can boil the potatoes. Now, as best you can, mix that all up on the bottom. Try to bring those vegetables up from the bottom. Now that we've got all of it mixed in the pot, we're going to bring that to a boil. We're going to boil that for about 30 to 45 minutes. Then we'll add milk to it and let it cook. Now we've got a boiling pot of potato soup. Take that same slotted spoon I've been using. Just kind of mush them down a little bit. It's got a nice thick consistency. Going to add, I don't know, a couple of cups of milk. Stir that up real good. Just use that spoon to scrape the bottom of the pan real good. Make sure it's all nice and mixed up. I'm going to take a cup of grated cheese. I use the cheddar and Monterey Jack mixture that's great for tacos or just about anything else. Going to add that to it. Stir it up just enough to melt that cheese. And what you've got right here is a big old pot of goodness. I'm going to add some black pepper to it. Put that to taste. We like pepper, so we use a good bit of black pepper. Put a little bit of salt in it. Again, you can salt it to taste. And just a little bit, not a lot, cayenne pepper. Gotta be careful with this stuff. I'm gonna put, I don't know, half a teaspoon in there. Mix that all up. Make sure it's all mixed up nice. Man, that looks good, doesn't it? Now I'm going to turn the fire down to low. Put the lid on it. Let it sit. Let that cook for an hour from this point. Those potatoes will cook down even further. It'll be creamy and delicious. I'll guarantee it. Make you a pot. Give it a try. It takes a little while to do it, but it's easy and it's cheap and it's delicious. An hour later, stir it up again. How about that? That's good stuff right there. Now what you do is you go out and find you a completely independent taste tester. Look, I found a completely independent, unbiased taste tester for my potato soup. Ma'am, would you please let me know how that potato soup tastes?
I will. It looks good. Oh, that's good. That's really good. It's as good as any I've had in any restaurant. If they serve this at a restaurant, I'd be pleased. It's got a nice texture and great flavors. Thanks. Good. You can almost eat this with a fork, but you'd want to use a spoon to get every drop.